I could just start by talking a little bit about how National Adjunct Walkout Day came about. I was teaching at a state school in California. It was a state school that had a very good union, and contingent faculty members were part of that union, and as a result, we did have health benefits, which a lot of adjuncts don't have. There were 3-year appointments. There were a lot of benefits from being a part of that union. And yet, nevertheless, as a result of salary stagnation over the years and the increasing cost of living costs in California, the vast majority of lecturers that I was interacting with on a daily basis were not making ends meet at all. We're calculating at one point that with the work we had to put into not only teaching, but grading and office hours and all types of assessment and administrative tasks, of us weren't even making the minimum wage. And at one point, there was this email conversation, kind of a listserv faculty email situation that got shut down pretty quickly, but people were just talking about the reality of their lives. And it was just so sad to see that people who had devoted themselves to education, who were great educators, who cared so much about their students, couldn't make a living. This is going on our campus, and we have a union, but this is going on every single campus in America. And why hasn't something national been done about this? And pretty much as soon as the poll went out, there was attention. There was attention from the media. There was attention from other adjuncts. It seemed like there was a groundswell of support from the beginning, which is kind of surprising. The first announcements went out over Twitter and Facebook, which was sort of funny because I'd really never Twittered before. And since then, it's mostly been on Facebook, I think because so many of the adjuncts that we know, just sort of your everyday average adjuncts, again, are not real activist types. They're not on Twitter very much, but pretty much all of them have a Facebook account. So that seemed to be a way to communicate with people who would be supporting National Adjunct Walkout Day.
Can you tell me why it's important, or you want to remain anonymous?
Yeah, I mean, there are a couple of reasons. I think the main one, though, is when putting out this call, the idea was either adjuncts are going to respond or they're not. And if they respond, which they did, it really needs to be about all adjuncts everywhere. And I'm sort of an everyday adjunct. I hadn't been an activist type in terms of adjunct issues before. And so it really wasn't, this whole thing is not about me, it's really about adjuncts.
And what are your hopes for the National Adjunct Walkout Day?
I think that really the ultimate goal in getting involved in something like this, what you hope for is systemic change. You really hope that somehow systemic change will happen, and that this is perhaps a step towards that. So changing the conversation, for example, from where these adjuncts working under these terrible conditions to why are administrations exploiting 75% of their faculty members? Changing those type of conversations, getting it out there to the average person, to the average student who pays tuition. For example, when we had budget issues going on in regards to California state universities, a lot of the comments would be, well, it's the money-grubbing faculty. They just want more money. And the average public seemed to have no understanding that, the money at any given university is not flowing towards faculty members. It's certainly not flowing towards the 75% of contingent faculty members who are teaching courses. And so achieving some type of transparency in terms of finances, where the money actually is going so that students know where their money is going, this is all part of what we hope to achieve. I think that the question as to, do we think that every single adjunct on National Adjunct Walkout Day will walk out of the classroom? I mean, that would be wonderful. That would be amazing. But the reality is we can have a day of change, even if a lot of people take up this call symbolically. If they hold a teach-in, if they write a letter to the editor, if they have more of a demand for transparency on their campus as to where the finances are going. There's so many different ways that this day can be used, and I think already has been used to start a conversation in the media and in the national media about the exploitations of contingent faculty members.